Hey guys! So we have arrived. We have reached the peak energy of the summer and, kind of this year and actually just generally of the times that we are in right now. This is the week hosting our new moon in Leo and also this very powerful, rare, unique conjunction of planets, Mars, Uranus, and the North Node coming together in the sign of Taurus. Now we need to remember the context of what is happening on a larger level right now. We are bridging and transitioning energetically from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And this activation, this trio of planets coming together in the sky has not happened in over 2,000 years. And their unification once again is marking an energetic shift into this new age, the age of Aquarius that we are transitioning into now. And it is not to say that we are just going to wake up on the 31st and everything is going to be like radically different and radically changed and we are just going to have a totally awakened perception of our conscious reality. It's not that. It's that when we look back, this will be the period of time when we can really start to see and understand that like sort of the first domino fell in a progression of events that ended up leading to some type of sweeping, dynamic, fundamental, unexpected change and awakening across the collective of humanity. This is the week, this is the time period when that process is really truly being activated. This week is likely to be really heated, you guys. It's likely to be very intense, ridden with just stuff hitting us out of nowhere. Expect the unexpected, perhaps some really uncomfortable and out of the blue shifts and changes going on. We are starting this week in some black moon energy. Things are like hot, hot, hot. We also are beginning the week with Mercury, the messenger planet, coming into a square with Mars, and we could really be dealing with some repressed anger issues. We really need to be careful and exercise some caution as we're opening this week. And fights, arguments, this type of stuff is just primed in the field right now, you guys. There is a lot of breakdown going on. There is a lot of dynamic shift. There's a lot of combustible change happening, and we've got a lot of energy to talk about opening this week and moving through this week for sure. So let's get into the chart, you guys, see what is coming in terms of the aspects playing out today. And as we are building through this week and towards not only our new moon in Leo, but also this very rare, unique, powerful conjunction that is playing out in the sign of Taurus as well. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, July 25th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. If you guys stick with me until the end of the report, we're also going to be talking about some tarot cards that came out in correspondence to the energy today, the astrology today, just so we can get a more well-rounded, holistic overview from a couple different modalities of what is playing out in terms of our energetic blueprint today. But let's get into it, you guys. Let's start with the astrology. First of all, we may, like I said, really be dealing with some repressed anger that is bubbling to the surface today. We may have a very short fuse. People may be sort of setting us off right and left. We may be feeling really triggered about some things, and we also may be sort of in a state of some type of deep contemplation about just the general state of things, the trajectory of things, where our experiences have brought us, what we've learned, what our morals and values truly are at this point in time, and as a result of that, like, again, what our trajectory looks like going forward. There's a lot going on in the chart today, you guys. First of all, we start the day with the moon in the end of Gemini. That means the moon will be forming a square to Neptune retrograde right now in the sign of Pisces. So to start the day, honestly, we may be a little bit disoriented. We may be a little bit confused, feel a little bit like out of it, not really, just not really like with it all the way. We may be in a little bit of la la land, feeling a little bit of dreamland, not understanding things properly, possibly operating under some kind of delusion about something, or with Neptune and the square and also talking about the moon in the sign of Gemini, this could be just like an active desire to avoid reality, to avoid having to have a difficult conversation about something, to avoid having to face a difficult truth, to avoid having to understand something or sort things out. and just could create like sort of a bit of a desire to escape reality is something that we may be dealing with to start our day. And, we may be sort of waking up in this energy, but around noon, maybe a little afternoon, Eastern time. So wherever you are in the world, this could vary, but the moon will move into the sign of Cancer. Now, you guys know we also have the black moon currently right now in the sign of Cancer. So whenever we have the moon coming into the sign where the black moon is, or the sign opposite the black moon, this triggers and activates the black moon energy. And you guys, the whole month of June, and essentially our whole month of July, our Cancer new moon cycle, the whole month of June and our Cancer new moon cycle were both very, very, very strongly, heavily influenced by the black moon energy. In June, you guys, we started that month with the moon in a conjunction to the black moon. We ended that month with the sun in a conjunction to the black moon. We started our new moon in Cancer cycle with the sun and the moon in a conjunction to the black moon. So these past 2 months have been very, very heavy in black moon Cancer energy. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know and understand what black moon Cancer energy is, how it operates, what it does. But essentially, it's fears, insecurities, worries, doubts, subconscious patterning in regards to the home, the family, how we give and receive love, support, nurturing, care, how we feel accepted and appreciated, and whether or not we are able to do a good job or be successful at caring for ourselves or caring for our loved ones, how we fit into the group, how we fit into the community, like our role within the family and our ability to excel and to be appreciated for that. And it can bring up a lot of issues surrounding like lack of support, lack of appreciation, lack of care, lack of self-care, lack of self-love, lack of love for others, just like general fears, worries, insecurities about things going on within the home, our personal stability, whether or not we can care for and provide for our families and our loved ones, and whether or not we are cared for or loved and provided for as well. Like all of these type of things may have been very prominent and sort of just like emotional issues that we've been navigating over the course of this past 2 months. And of course, being the sign of Cancer, this is also a very emotional issue. It also rules the mother and may have been bringing up like some deep issues in regards to like our own mother or early childhood wounding, or our ability to mother and care for and look after others. All of these themes really being triggered, and just sort of our ability to regulate our own emotions in regards to the more like the darker aspects of our emotional nature as well. We have been black moon transiting the sign of Cancer, and the black moon is going to be transiting the sign of Cancer for quite a bit. The black moon takes 9 months to transit a sign, and we're about 1/3 of the way through that process right now. So we've got some more time to go, but the black moon in Cancer is trying to help us gain a conscious awareness of any issues, any like deep-seated psychological issues in regards to our roots, in regards to where we came from, in our regards to our ability, again, to feel supported and cared for and nurtured in this world. And as a result of that, to be able to grow into something that is able to, feel successful and stable and like be able to stand on our own 2 feet and stuff, because we are talking about the Cancer Capricorn axis. So it's like issues with feeling cared for, nurtured, supported, loved, a part of something, and as a result of that, our ability to feel stable and like lay solid foundations that can grow into something that is like successful and worldly, and that can like carry us down the road into our future. So all of these themes coming up that we may have been dealing with over this past couple of months while we have had this black moon energy so prominent. And today we are back in more black moon energy. But you guys, the good news is that the intensity, the severity, the depth of these black moon Cancer feelings may not be as strong or as prominent or as like overbearing or as like triggering or as like soul gripping as they have been for this past couple months. And that is because we recently, for one, had the sun move into the sign of Leo, which means the sun is no longer also triggering and activating the black moon energy. And so, this past couple months, with June, with all of that black moon energy to start and end the month, and then this whole lunar cycle, this Cancer new moon cycle, so strong with the sun in the sign of Cancer with the black moon as well. It has been really heavy. But now we have the sun in the sign of Leo. So this is definitely sort of like easing that burden a little bit, or sort of like alleviating a bit of the depths of the darkness that we may have been navigating when we had the sun transiting the sign of Cancer with the black moon. Now, another thing that is going on right now that may be sort of easing the tension or easing the intensity of this black moon energy is that we also have Venus right now in the sign of Cancer in a conjunction to the black moon, actually, and moving closer in a conjunction to the black moon. Actually, tomorrow, Venus is going to be in a conjunction to the black moon. It's going to be interesting energy tomorrow. But Venus and the black moon, these are like the two sides of the feminine. And Venus is what we like, what we love, what we desire, like what we embrace. And with Venus and the black moon coming together in the sign of Cancer, this is actually like on one level an ability to sort of embrace the shadow side issues and maybe not view them subconsciously or unconsciously as such a negative. This is actually providing, I feel like, a greater window of healing, releasing, integrating, embracing, transcending maybe some of these black moon issues that we've been dealing with Venus in the sign of Cancer with the black moon as well, just because there is a greater ability, like I said, to sort of embrace our own issues, embrace our own darkness. And, this can definitely be used and taken to, sort of a more negative extent as well. It can also create like a very strong ability to sort of manipulate or seduce, stuff like that. But it can also create an opportunity for us to really sort of like, instead of rejecting the darker sides of ourselves and therefore projecting them out in the world and therefore perpetuating cycles in regards to those feelings and those aspects of our psyche, this is sort of a stronger energy with the moon there as well, helping us to gain an awareness, these issues rising to the surface. With Venus there, we are likely to have a greater tendency of actually embracing them, actually sort of like loving ourselves through them maybe, and the healing that can come from this could be quite significant in terms of our ability to, again, like overcome some of these fears that we've been dealing with, or just gain that awareness of them, or help ourselves to regulate our emotions a little bit better, as this black moon energy is generally being alleviated a little bit because of the sun's exit out of the sign of Cancer. We have Venus here as well. So although we are in more black moon energy today, and we might be feeling triggered, because that's what happens when we are in black moon energy. A lot of times our fears and insecurities are being triggered, and therefore we are acting out. Black moon in Cancer, people are likely to be a little bit like less than affectionate, less than caring, maybe not being their best selves in terms of their ability of just being compassionate and nurturing and empathetic and stuff like that, because a lot of times we are feeling like unappreciated and unloved or unsupported, or we feel like we are not doing a good enough job of that, taking care of ourselves or taking care of others, and so therefore we sort of project this feeling outwards. Projection is a major theme of the day today, you guys, and that is something that we're definitely going to want to watch as we go throughout the course of this day. But this black moon energy should, for the most part, be a little bit more tolerable, a little bit less triggering, and a little bit just like easier to navigate than it has been over the course of, again, like this past like literal 8 weeks. We are also drawing very, very near to the end of this Cancer lunar cycle right now, which was a black moon lunar cycle. We've only got a couple more days until we begin the new moon in Leo cycle this week. So this energy really is waning out. And again, this should sort of like restore a sense of like security and just like inner peace, inner stability a little bit, less fear, worry, insecurity, doubt, in regards to, perhaps like the state of our ability to be a part of our group or our family, or to have like this family cohesion. Family issues, home issues should sort of start to clear up a little bit at this point in time, and especially as we move towards the new moon in Leo that is coming up. But this black moon energy should not be as bad as it has been, or I shouldn't say bad, should not be as heavy as it has been, but it is still black moon energy, so it is what it is. The next thing that we need to talk about today, though, is this square that we have going on between Mars and Taurus, Mercury in the sign of Leo. This is a 2-day activation. It starts today, and then Mars will move degrees tomorrow. Mercury will move degrees tomorrow. So we are having a 2-day exact transit square between Mercury and Mars. Fixed signs. This is really, really turning up the heat on things, you guys, especially in the context of this Uranus North Node conjunction that we have going on, and Mars rapidly moving into proximity as well. And again, this is happening in fixed signs, so this creates like even more tension and irritation. And, especially considering that it is a square aspect that we have going on as well. So people may really be like touchy and irritable and, kind of viewing any type of communication that may be coming their way or going on today as some type of challenge. Like people really may be looking for a fight today. And that is something that we really want to temper within ourselves in this energy. People are likely to be making their feelings very clear about things and just letting you know that you're setting them off in one way or another, or we may feel like we are just being set off left and right today. Like I said earlier, like very short fuse with Mercury in the square to Mars, especially fire and earth, Mercury in Leo, Taurus with Mars in the fixed energy also. Another way this could manifest is sort of like a need to defend our ideas or our beliefs against someone else today. Debates, arguments, fights, very likely when we have Mars and Mercury in a square. And what we want to watch out for, though, what we want to be careful about, and one way that this aspect can get a little bit like explosive is when, like I said, we may need to defend our ideas or beliefs in some type of way. We're talking about Mercury ruling ideas and beliefs and our thoughts, but Mars rules the ego. And so what we don't want to do in this energy, but what people generally have a tendency of doing in this energy, is like really, really like identifying on like an ego personal basis with our beliefs, with our ideas, with our thoughts. And so when those ideas, thoughts, or beliefs are challenged in some type of a way, it's like a personal attack. Like it's like somebody coming for you personally. Like we're feeling like our life actually might be being like threatened a little bit. And so it's not just like, in other energy, we might take somebody like criticizing our ideas or, our beliefs, how we feel about things, and be like, that's just their opinion. Like it doesn't affect me. I'm just going to go about my business and not pay too much attention to it. But when we have this specific aspect playing out, it's like, no, my ideas, my beliefs, like that is me. Like I am that. And if you are attacking that, then you are attacking me. And therefore you need to face some fierce and fiery retribution, and I'm going to deliver it. You know what I mean? Like that is how a lot of times this energy can play out. So what we don't want to do today or tomorrow in this energy, especially with the black moon operating as well, this is people projecting their fears. This is people projecting their internal repressed negativity, rage. That's another thing. Mercury in square to Mars, this can really cause some repressed anger, some repressed rage that is sort of bubbling to the surface. And that is why a lot of times we feel like we are just on the edge of explosion. Like just something inside of us needs to like break when we have this energy playing out. So we really want to be careful with that. And we really want to be careful about, like I said, over identifying with our thoughts about things today, or our perceptions or our understanding, especially, also coming out of the moon forming the square to Neptune from Gemini. I mean, Gemini, where the moon is to start the day, also is ruled by Mercury in the square to Mars. So there may also be some type of misunderstanding or disorientation or lack of clarity or delusion or fantasy that we are operating under as well, that is also in some way playing into this anger or these fights or these debates. So we want to make sure that we're understanding things properly. We want to make sure that we are not over identifying with our understanding about things to the point of like really coming for somebody or taking somebody's head off in this energy, because people are likely to just be doing that type of thing. And like I said, we do not want to go out looking for a battle, looking for a fight if it doesn't exist. That can happen too, because like I said, like projection is very, very strong in this energy. If we are feeling or if we are holding negativity or tension or anger or resentment or hostility or bitterness or any of that inside of us, this is the energy where we are likely to just go picking fights in order to put it on somebody else because it needs to come out and we can't face it or deal with it within ourselves. We also may like attract other people, magnetize other people to us, or experience other people in our lives who are acting really touchy or really irritable or really defensive or really just like, again, like short fuse today as a reflection of our own internal repressed or suppressed anger that may be going on. It's like, that's another way, you know, maybe we are not necessarily projecting it, but maybe we're holding it inward. And as a result, like attracts like, maybe we are drawing people into our experience who are sort of like projecting that onto us as a reflection of this energy that we are holding inside of us that is sort of being mirrored back to us as well. So that is another way that this energy can manifest itself. And we have to talk about accidents too, because we're talking about Mercury in the conjunction to Mars. This is sort of more accident prone behavior energy, especially also with Uranus and the North Node in a conjunction and in proximity to Mars. But it's more so if you're not careful. Like this is the type of accident prone energy that you can almost like get a handle on beforehand and sort of like avert if we're paying attention to our own behavior. We need to be careful, and the danger, specifically accidents through burns, especially to arms, hands, legs, or while walking or while driving. But like I said, it's usually not without warning in this energy. And if something's coming, you're likely to feel like this buildup of tension, this buildup of energy, this repressed feeling of rage internally. And therefore you may find yourself acting sort of impulsively. And if you are experiencing these feelings or these sensations, you know, and there's not really like a reason behind it, or even if there is, you know, avoid driving, hot objects, anything sharp. All of this type of stuff can kind of get a little out of control today when we have this energy going on. But accidents under this transit are generally caused, again, by this repressed hostility or this repressed aggressiveness that is lacking an external expression, and therefore is sort of like turned against ourselves. It's sort of like another dimension of this projection energy. It's like if we are repressing this energy within us and it's not getting an outlet, a lot of times we can actually attract or cause some type of accident to happen to us as a reflection of whatever we are holding on inside of us. So we need to be careful with that as well, especially, you know, in this energy. And we're talking about the signs of Leo, where Mercury is. We're talking about the sign of Taurus, where Mars is. Again, these are fixed signs. So this could also be some very stubborn, headstrong, willful, like clash of sort of like the egos that are coming together. We're talking about, again, Mercury in the sign of Leo, ruling ego, and Mars also ruling ego in the sign of Taurus. And ego clashes definitely could be coming ahead today in this energy. But themes that, you know, conflicts, debates, arguments, fights are likely to be around are over resources, money, value, projects, finances, supplies, like all of this Taurus themed stuff, food even maybe, material possessions, stuff like that are the themes where Mars is the warrior. Mars can rule aggressions and fights and battles. So these Taurus themes are the things that we may be like fighting over. And with Mercury in the sign of Leo, it's also like what we desire, what we feel we deserve, what we're passionate about, and also what we want to protect and what we want to create at this period of time, sort of juxtaposed to these resources, money, projects, finances, partnership dynamics as well, relationship and partnership dynamics, also very much part of this. And also, you know, with Venus conjuncting the black moon in the sign of Cancer, aside from the more positive influence that Venus does have with the black moon, Venus also rules relationships and finances and stuff like that. And with the black moon, this could definitely be bringing up some fears or some insecurities in regards to the state or the stability of our relationships and of our finances and of our ability to create sort of a secure path for ourselves along those realms of our lives, also happening in the sign of Cancer as well. So, in Mars also in the sign of Taurus, there could definitely be some big time relationship, partnership issues that are coming up this week, fears, insecurities, doubts, but also sort of on the other side of the page, there is also this energy that's playing out today, like I said, also that is sort of about deeply like considering things, like really like thinking about where our experiences have brought us and what we have learned from them, the wisdom that we've gained, and how that has sort of changed like our own desires and view and like outlook for our own personal future. And I'm saying that because aside from the transits that we have going on today, we also have some interesting Sabian symbols in effect. For one, the Earth today is at 3 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a deserter from the Navy stands suddenly aware of a dawning truth. Freedom is never the result of compromise. So sort of coming to these conclusions today about maybe some of like our like stronger moral understandings and judgments about things that we are kind of like solidifying with at this point in time. We have Mercury at 13 degrees of Leo before Mercury moves into the exact square to Mars today at 13 Leo, like I said, an old sea captain rocking on the porch of his cottage. So this degree to me is always sort of like contemplating our experiences and, you know, what we've been through and what we've learned and where we're at now, and just sort of like how we can apply the lessons and the experiences that we've gained over the course of like our lives essentially to our future and the trajectory that is laid before us now. What choices are we going to make and how are we going to proceed going forward at this point in time? Really like sort of contemplating and taking things into consideration. We have Jupiter at 9 degrees of Aries right now, getting ready, stationing, getting ready actually to go retrograde in a couple days in correspondence to our new moon. That Sabian symbol is a seer gazes intently into a crystal ball in front of them. Again, I feel like this Sabian symbol is talking about seeing the bigger picture, getting a glimpse of our future, like being more forward thinking and like seeing the plans, seeing the trajectory of things in the context of this experience that we've been through and all that we've learned through the trajectory in the course of the circumstances in our lives and the truths that we've come to, this moral basis and the truths that we've come to at this point in time. And then we also have Saturn right now at 24 degrees of Aquarius, and that Sabian symbol is turning his back on his passions. A man teaches deep wisdom from his experiences. And this is another Sabian symbol that is really talking about like what one has learned, the wisdom gleaned through experiences over the course of a life, and putting that wisdom into practice and making a decision to move away from more of like the more ego instinctual based passions and desires into things that are just more fitting with these maybe like moral truths and the wisdom that we've learned through the process of going through these experiences and the way that like mindset is pertaining to the direction and creating the direction of our future, the crystal gazer, right? So we have all of those 4 symbols going on, Sabian symbols in effect today. And I feel like ultimately like they are also talking about another aspect of what is playing out in the dimensions of this energy as we are building towards this big conjunction in this very, very powerful week with this new moon energy coming up as well, deeply considering and contemplating our past experiences, the wisdom we've gained, the understandings that we've come to, and how that impacts the trajectory of our future. So there's a lot going on today. We may feel like sort of pulled in a few different directions. On one hand, we are likely to be sort of maybe a little bit confused about something, maybe not really seeing things fully clearly, and we may be really dealing with some negative feelings. We may be feeling very triggered today in this black moon energy. We may feel a little shaken in our foundation. There may be some things that we've been holding in that are sort of bubbling to the surface. We do want to be careful, again, with over-identifying with our thoughts, ideas, beliefs in this energy and allowing ourselves to become like a weapon that can be lodged against somebody based on some type of ego wound that maybe we feel that we're experiencing in this energy. We want to really do our best to regulate our emotions today in the best way that we can. If if we're really feeling it, like writing and journaling and getting our ideas or our words out, maybe like making a video for ourselves or making a recording or, just writing what's on our mind instead of like really taking it out on another person or starting a fight or starting a conflict, that may be a better channel for this energy today. We do want to be, again, careful. Like road rage can be a really big issue today. People just generally looking for a fight because they cannot deal with whatever they're feeling inside, especially also with this black moon energy being triggered. So that's basically what I have to say today, you guys, in terms of the astrology. And it's not really surprising that this is where we are at as we are beginning this week, because things are coming to a head and people may generally feel like they are just at a boiling point or just can't take it anymore or just generally overwhelmed. Like that is a strong like facet that people may be dealing with right now as well, just feeling a bit overwhelmed. And again, like we need to do this sounds probably crazy and ridiculous, but we need to do our best to not take things too seriously in this energy. We need to do our best to try to see things from the bigger picture. Keep in mind that we are in like a grand cycle of time right now, and that we are just going through a process of some serious realignments, and it is the end of the world in a lot of ways. I'm not going to sit here and say that, everything is just lovely and wonderful and peachy keen and we have nothing to be worried or, upset about, when things are so unstable and so chaotic and so like hard to define and so like unclear about, how they will land going forward at this point in time. But we need to maintain the faith. We need to realize that things are happening for our greatest growth at this point in time. This entire shift, this entire transition into the age of Aquarius is about helping us to redefine ourselves in alignment with our authentic truth, our authentic potential, and the lives that we have built for ourselves on the foundations that are out of alignment with that. It's like that can't go with us. And it's almost like everything that we've created for ourselves that is not supportive or representing those authentic truths and that authentic potential and that like personal destiny, it's like it can't continue, like it can't go on. And this is the period of time where things are just being realigned in a way such that we have sort of like a blank slate to start over and recreate these foundations, rebuild this world, recreate and rebuild our identity in alignment with that authentic truth. And then, in this 222 year, as this very synchronistic numerology is trying to tell us, and the age of Aquarius, what it represents, like we are bound to attract the relationships, the circumstances, the opportunities that really do match us, fit us, support, and like align with that authenticity, that organic potential, that personal destiny. Like we are going to be in a situation where our world is a reflection of that, and the amount of fulfillment and the amount of purpose and the amount of like joy and open-heartedness that will create within us, and that will allow us to experience also as a result of us coming to a sort of an internal alignment with those feelings and vibrations as well. It sort of goes both ways, it's like we become that internally, so therefore we attract it externally, but we also attract it externally, and it supports us more so of becoming that more and more internally as well. But that is a trajectory. That is what all of this is heading to, but we can't get to the beauty without sort of going through the phase of destruction. It's like we can't rebuild paradise and rebuild beauty and rebuild heaven on earth without having to go through like the downfall and the collapse of it all and this divine galactic realignment. And so that's where we're at right now, you guys. This is a very big, critical period of time, critical week. All week, we sort of, I think, need to like kind of brace ourselves and be willing to go with the flow of things, be prepared for the unexpected, be prepared, perhaps to get a little bit sort of knocked around, but to just maintain the faith that we may not see it initially, but at the end of the day, as things play out, the way that things are being realigned right now is in such a way that is going to benefit us in coming back into alignment with our authentic truth and being able to actually attract and magnetize to ourselves these people, relationships, experiences, opportunities that are really bringing us a much greater sense of fulfillment in our lives and making things a lot better for us moving forward. So that's where we're at, you guys. That's what I have to say about the astrology for today. It's a big week. We're going to get through it. It'll be real interesting to see what comes from this. And again, like I said, like, things may really be popping off this week. Like, things may really be exploding this week, really shifting. Major ground shifts may be going on this week. Also, you guys, big time storms could also be coming. I should say that big time storms, earthquakes, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, electrical storms, all this type of stuff could be very, very potent, powerful, and destructive this week as well. So I don't want to neglect to say that. But let's talk about the tarot for a minute. The cards that we had coming out for today to start our week. Very interesting message. And I feel like, you guys, this is talking about sort of the macrocosm level of things, okay? And of course, as within, so without, as above, so below. Like, this is going to be applying to the microcosm in our individual lives as well. But this is what we got. The first card that we have coming out is the Three of Swords in reverse. This is actually talking about some type of healing after some type of heartbreak or some type of deep wounding. The next card that we have coming out is the Hierophant. This is talking about the long-standing established order of things. And these two cards together, I feel like this is specifically referencing some type of healing going on in regards to a long-standing order of authority, power, control, rules, regulation, government, okay? The next card that we had coming out was the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the High Priestess in reverse. There's a lot of ways that we can interpret these cards, you guys, but in this specific context, these cards coming out, the way that they came out, this to me is talking about this Hierophant energy right here. This long-standing power and control, authority dynamics, establishment, government, the priest classes, the elite classes, the just generally the rule makers and the governing bodies, okay? I feel like this is talking about some type of major upset in the financial systems, the economic and financial systems, that is actually bringing some type of clarity. Like, this is the High Priestess. We actually never get the High Priestess card in these collective readings. We haven't gotten the High Priestess and I don't even know how long. But the High Priestess represents like mystery and things being a bit in the dark and not, you know, necessarily like things being a bit shrouded and not really seeing the whole truth about things. Like this just air of like, of mystery and like occultism and stuff like that. And with it being in reverse and also the Ten of Pentacles being in reverse and the Three of Swords being in reverse and then us having the Hierophant right here, to me this is talking about some type of like economic or financial issues that go on that expose something, that like bring clarity to some type of mystery, that like ends some type of mystery or confusion or, you know, what some type of curtain that we haven't, or veil that we haven't been able to see through. It's also interesting because right now, as of yesterday, we have the south node of the moon at, which is the past, which is what we're moving away from, which is what we are karmically clearing at this point in time. At the Sabian symbol, a woman drawing aside two dark curtains that close the entrance to a sacred pathway. And that very, very much reminds me of the High Priestess card, which we have in reverse. To me, this is like some type of revelations or something being exposed or some type of like occult wisdom or occult knowledge or occult secrets or something like that that is coming clear, that is coming clean. And in like the midst of it, some type of like financial or resource supply, economic like upheaval. That is actually, the thing is though, it's pertaining to these elite priesthood classes, to these hierarchies of power. But the first card coming out, the Three of Swords, this is about a healing, okay? This is about some type of healing that is going on a collective level. And then on the back of the deck, we had the Two of Cups in reverse, But under that, we had the Four of Wands, and then we had the Three of Cups. And so it's like, whatever is starting, whatever is going on, in the energy this week, leading into this week, to start our week this week, what we need to know is that we are on the brink, it appears, of some type of like up leveling. And with it being the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, like this, I don't know, it seems like it's financial, it seems like it's economic, it seems like it's to do with resources. The Ten of Pentacles, this is also a card of like solid, stable foundations and like commitment. So there is some type of breakdown going on in either the financial spheres of things, you guys, or in terms of this Pluto in Capricorn, long-standing power and control, hierarchies, elite rulership, priest classes of people, and some type of exposure, some type of mystery, some that is being like coming clear, like some type of seeing through the illusion in one way or another. High Priestess in reverse. And actually, what this is doing, what this healing is doing, is it's taking us out of alignments that are, again, that are not suiting us, that are out of balance, that are inharmonious. The Two of Cups in reverse. This is like the soulmate card. So when it's in reverse, it's like things that are not meant for us, like things that are not truly aligned with us. It is removing us from those situations in one way or another. This could also be like in terms of our own personal lives. It's like the status quo of our lives, like the rules that we personally have been operating under as well, undergoing some type of up leveling in terms of their stability, but also based on a revelation that we're gaining, or some type of understanding of some type of like deeper principle or deeper facet of like that has been hidden from us in terms of our own power, perhaps as well, leading to some type of healing. But it may be also leading to a breakdown in relationships that are not suited for us, partnerships that are not suited for us. But under that, we had the Four of Wands and the Three of Cups. It is making way though. Whatever is falling away right now, whatever is coming down, whatever lack of stability we are experiencing, it's to teach us something about our own selves and our own power, and to help us be able to come into better, greater contact with our own intuition, with our own foresight, with our own like ability to navigate our own reality in a way that like turns on our personal power. Breaking down these relationships, but there's new relationships coming in, the Four of Wands, that are really going to be stable and in alignment with us, that are going to set the stable foundation and are really going to be something worth celebrating. These are both cards of celebration. We have things to look forward to. We don't need to lose hope, but right now is the breakdown. Right now is the like up leveling of things, and it's happening though, you guys, to create some type of healing. It is not happening to cause some type of like deep wounding. It's happening to cause some healing that has resulted from some type of deep wound. But and to bring us back in touch with our own personal power, but it may really be shaking foundations in terms of just the general status quo, the way that we are used to governing our own reality or having our own reality governed for us. These are the type of things that are going by the wayside in this energy, so that we can be released from attachments that are not meant for us, so that we can draw in situations that are meant for us and that are going to be much more stable, much more enduring, much more long lasting, and give us much more cause for celebration going forward. So that is what we are dealing with, you guys, in terms of the tarot that's coming out in correspondence to the astrology today. I can't tell you guys like what a big deal it is right now in terms of the times. Like, it's so crazy, and we are all here for this process. So, we need to try to just, like I said, like not take it so seriously. Invoke gratitude whenever we can. Me personally, I really find whenever I'm feeling, especially with these Black Moon and Cancer issues, like whenever they're coming up, whenever I start feeling insecure, whenever I start getting the anxiety and stuff like that about whatever we have going on, Oh, it's funny. Gratitude, really like invoking that gratitude and really like embodying it and feeling that gratitude helps me personally a lot to sort of break myself out of some of these more like negative loops that can happen sometimes, especially when we're in this black moon energy. And on that note, it's really funny, the synchronicity card that also just came out, this is what we're doing, okay? It says root out negativity. Root out, pull down, destroy. Jeremiah 1:10. You must root out, pull down, and destroy all of your negative attitudes, false beliefs, erroneous opinions, and ill will of every kind. And these are the type of things today, actually, these specific things that may really be triggering us in terms of this like inner angst, inner anger, inner aggression that we could be projecting onto others today. So we want to, see this and acknowledge it and figure it out, see the root of it and pull it out by the root is what God is saying in this card today. You must completely alter the way you do things in your home and business. Do everything from a standpoint of the law of love and divine harmony. You will experience an enormous change in all phases of your life. You will meet all problems with faith in God and you will overcome. So in the midst of this heated energy today, Mars square Mercury, we're going to be dealing with this tomorrow as well, and this black moon energy, black moon in Cancer, we need to do our best to root out the negativity within us, and you will meet all problems with faith in God and you will overcome. So we are overcoming all of these issues. Whatever is coming up to be purged so that we can purify our own vibration so that we can go from this Two of Cups in reverse to the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands, purifying our vibration so that we can release ourselves from negative relationships or toxic attachments or things that are out of alignment and are unsupportive of our growth so that we can attract and manifest things that are based on this recalibrated vibration within us. So that is what I have to say today, you guys, starting our week. This very significant week. I hope I was able to provide something of value for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would like this and be interested in this kind of thing too. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We are going to have a moon, Venus, black moon conjunction. We're going to be in day 2 of this Mercury Mars square, and we are going to be that much closer to the new moon and this big conjunction that is building at the end of the week. So I'll be here, you guys. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you then. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and until tomorrow, bye, guys.